relationships across the world have a natural progression. From dating to proposals, couples become more official when a knee is bent and the ring pops out. And one key question is asked: will you marry me? There is an increasing number of marriages happening in Uganda. And in this episode, we find out what is marriage, which marriages are legally recognized, and the limitations in Uganda. My name is Tracy K. Welcome to Nalo.
Marriage is when a man and woman decide to stay together for life of their own free will under legally recognized forms of marriage in Uganda. While deciding to marry, a man and woman go through the procedures necessary for either church, Islamic, or customary marriage. Despite the modern society we live in today, arranged marriages are still very much in practice, and as much as cohabitation continues to increase in percentage, it is not a legally recognized type of marriage. According to the Ugandan Constitution, marriage should be carried out in licensed places of worship and by recognized minister or pastor under Section 20 of Marriage Act. The law gives certain rights and obligations to people who are legally married. For example, rights on property, family maintenance, and this is very different from cohabitation.
Well, one thing is certainly clear from this interpretation of Section 20 of the Marriage Act. Whether you have a decade together as a couple or have kids together, this union does not hold before the law, unless it satisfies the criteria listed in the Constitution. From the age of consent, you have to be male and female, have a licensed place of worship, and also use a recognized minister to officiate your function. You must also make sure you have no blood relations. These are some of the things you must make sure are taken care of. But what laws govern these marriages according to the Ugandan Constitution?
Church and civil marriage in Uganda is governed by the Marriage Act, Cap 251, which outlines that a notice of marriage should be made and also a certificate of proof of conditions must be issued to guarantee that both parties have met the required standards of marriage, for example, their age, among others. Islamic marriage is controlled by Marriage and Divorce of Mohammedans Act, Cap 252, which stipulates that the Marriage Act and that of Africa shall cease to apply to the celebration of marriages between persons, both of whom profess the Mohammedan religion. The Marriage Act of Hindu and the customary law on marriage are some of the other legally recognized forms of marriage in Uganda, provided the intending couples fulfill all the requirements. One thing, however, that should be noted is that they don't crisscross each other. Hindu marriage is governed by the Hindu Marriage and Divorce Act. Customary marriage is governed by Customary Marriage Act, Cap 248, which states that the parties to a customary marriage shall, as soon as may be, but at any event not later than 6 months after the date of completion of the ceremony of marriage, attend the office of the registrar of the marriage district in which the customary marriage took place, with at least 2 witnesses to the marriage ceremony.
It is safe to say that if your union does not fall in any of these categories, well, that could mean a situationship or, in the words of a famous actress, an entanglement. We had a chat with Counsel Paul Katamba of Silicon Advocates.
Mohammedan is marriage, the ones of Muslims. All of them have certain different procedures that you should take, and they be recognized by law to be valid marriages.
Mr. Paul also highlights key procedures and limitations that one has to bear in mind while committing to some of these types of marriages.
It should be a culture that is recognized. Is it Baganda? Is it Banyankole? Is it Bagisu? They have their norms. The Langis, they have their norms, how they do or give away. They give away of their daughter. So, and it should be in conformity with the Constitution of Uganda. It should be in conformity with the laws. You do not decide to do your marriage that you shall celebrate it under stones or what, over animals. No. It should be one of a culture that is recognized, norms that are understood, and they should have lived that time. Once celebrated in that way, what are the limitations? Or what can you do out of it? So under customary marriage, you're allowed to have as enough or more partners. You can marry the first wife, it is your way, but under culture. But you cannot cross from it into the other monogamous marriages without dissolving these ones.
In our quest to understand the details that pertain to the law on marriage, we asked ourselves, what institution registers and oversees the legality of these marriages in Uganda? URSB is a government agency that is responsible for marriage registration among many other services. It holds the National Marriage Register that is for customary, civil, church, Hindu and Islamic marriages. Mr. Charles Nsimbi, the manager of civil registration at the URSB, joined us to further break down what exactly their role is as an institution on matters marriage related.
There's customary marriage, which many people call, they don't think it's a marriage. That's the Kwanjura, Kunyingira, Nyumtoke for the Langi, and people. Every culture in this country has a marriage. It existed before the advent of the white and religion. Then, of course, there is the religious marriages, Muslim, Christian, Hindu. And then there is the civil marriage you mentioned, which is originally known as DC, Bagaya DC, where you go to the chief administrative officer, or for Kampala, you come to Uganda Administration Services Bureau. That's a civil marriage. Though essentially, the marriage is celebrated in churches, actually civil marriages. Please make sure your marriage is legit, because the benefit of registering a marriage cannot be overemphasized. First of all, in simple day-to-day language, that if you want to travel now and you say you're traveling as a married person, you must have a certified certificate. Just like you now need a COVID certificate, you also need a certified marriage from URSB if you're going to travel anywhere. Also, if you bank the property, and if you're going to get a mortgage, if you are talking about a matrimonial home, all those things can only be secured by a registered marriage. Don't mistake two things. Being a mother of someone's children or being a father of someone's children does not make you married. Not in the law. That's why the words are different. There is wife, there is husband. There is a mother of my children and there is a father of my children. These days you call them what, baby daddy, whatever. They're not married. In our traditional culture, we say, at least me, I'm in Uganda, we say, hey, because he has a child. That's not legal. Just being a mother of someone's child does not make you their wife. Being a father, because you see, people are married and they have children outside wedlock. Those other women are mothers of this man's children, but they're not his wives.
Thank you for watching. I'm Tracy K. Nalo, know the law.